Diary entry number 1. The Enigmatic Artist. Growing up, I had always marveled at the beauty of life's fragility. The people in my life, like the flowers, were delicate and transient. I would observe them, noticing the subtle nuances of their expressions, the silent tales their eyes told. Their vulnerabilities and imperfections made them all the more beautiful to me. I was drawn to these frailties, these cracks where the light seeped in. My own reflection in the mirror was a daily reminder of my uniqueness. My fiery red hair, untamed and wild, flowed down my back like a cascade of flames. It was a symbol of my inner desires, burning brightly and setting me apart from the rest. Every strand seemed to dance with life. Yet, amidst this beauty and warmth, a restless yearning stirred in my soul. An insatiable hunger for something more, something deeper, that lay just beyond my grasp. On a cloudy evening, as I strolled through the art district, the scent of wet paint wafted through the air. A street artist was painting a melancholic portrait of a young woman. Our eyes met. I saw in him a vulnerability that drew me in. We struck up a conversation. His name was Ethan. Talking with him, I felt this magnetic pull. He spoke of his struggles, his family's disdain for his art, and the loneliness he felt. A plan began to form in my mind. His pain was something I wanted to explore further. As the night got on, Ethan invited me up to the home of his creations. Fumbling with the lock, the door to Ethan's studio creaked open. The space inside felt like a sacred haven, a sanctuary for lost souls. The room was dimly lit, with beams of dying street lamps filtering through the cracked windows, illuminating particles of dust. Tall, haphazardly placed easels crowded the room, each one adorned with an artwork reflecting a fragment of Ethan's soul. Some were half-finished, others barely started, but each held an emotion, raw and powerful. Ethan's hands moved hesitantly, showcasing his art, each piece a part of his heart laid bare. There was a silent vulnerability in the way he talked about his paintings, his voice sometimes wavering, sometimes passionate, revealing layers of his psyche. As he spoke, the atmosphere grew thicker with tension and intrigue. The boundaries between the observer and the artist started to blur. Amidst the colors and brushes, my fingers came in contact with a cold, sharp palette knife. The metallic glint was oddly comforting, the weight of it familiar yet thrilling. It was a tool of creation and, potentially, destruction. Holding it was like holding power, an allure that was hard to resist. The world seemed to stand still. Every noise, every whisper of the wind was drowned out by the racing beats of our hearts. There was a dangerous dance of emotions at play: anticipation, fear, curiosity. Ethan, unaware of my internal struggle, continued speaking about a particular painting, his voice a mere whisper in the grand scheme of the universe. The idea, initially just a flicker in the back of my mind, began to consume me. I was on the edge, teetering between sanity and an abyss, and in that split second, with the weight of the palette knife in hand, I let myself fall. The act was swift, its finality echoing in the silent studio. Ethan's startled gaze, the pure shock and horror in his eyes, became a portrait of mortality. The intensity of the emotions that surged through me was unparalleled. It was a heady mix of power, control, and an understanding of life's fragility. The very essence I had been searching for was now dripping from my hands. The crimson on the canvas merged with Ethan's art, creating a piece that was both tragic and beautiful. It was a testament to the fine line between creation and destruction, life and death. The days after the act were a haze of mixed emotions. The exhilaration from the experience battled with a newfound paranoia. The city, which once held endless wonders, now echoed with whispers that seemed to follow me. The rhythm of daily life had changed, its innocence replaced by a weighty tension. It was on one of these heavy days that I found myself in a quaint cafe, nestled in a cobbled alleyway. The mellow tunes of a jazz piano played softly in the background, creating a comforting ambiance amidst the rustic wooden tables and vintage chandeliers. A fresh brew of coffee steamed in front of me, its scent wrapping me in a familiar warmth. Over the gentle murmur of conversations and clinking cups, a particular voice broke through. A woman, tears glistening in her eyes, her voice laden with grief, spoke of a tragedy. Words like disappearance and brother sent shivers down my spine. The realization hit me like a cold wave. She was speaking of Ethan. My heart threatened to betray my facade as it drummed loudly in my chest. But a dark thrill coursed through my veins. The cat-and-mouse game had begun. Unable to resist, I approached her table, feigning sympathy. My voice, dripping with faux concern, offered empty condolences. With every word I spoke, I reveled in the cruel irony. I knew the truth she desperately sought. The aftermath of my encounter with Ethan's sister was transformative. As the days turned to weeks, the magnitude of my actions and their implications settled in. My home, once a sanctuary, now held a secret. Among the bookshelves, knickknacks, and cozy throws, a diary took its place. Each page became a canvas for my thoughts, emotions, and memories. Words flowed like paint, capturing the chiaroscuro of my psyche, the darkness and the light. This diary became my confession, my own form of art. I was both the artist and the muse, documenting the duality of my existence. The very act of writing brought a sense of catharsis, a way to grapple with the demons and angels that resided within me. Yet, as time passed, the dance between my newfound power and vulnerability grew more intricate. The pages of the diary held not only my secrets, but also the intoxicating thrill of potential discovery. Every glance, every whispered conversation, every unfamiliar face held a question. Would they know? Would they see the monster beneath the facade? With each entry, the line between predator and prey blurred, and my life became a thrilling tapestry of dangers and desires, a journey through the darkest and brightest corners of the soul. The game had only just begun,